Howdy howdy folks, Fleeting Distractions here. Today we're going to be looking at some more Resident Evil Requiem footage. The official game overview got dropped a week ago. I've been busy with work, so I haven't had a chance to actually look at this. All I got a chance to do was look at the reveal trailer that was dropped earlier last month. And yeah, I want to know what the hell's going on. So let's hop right back into it and see what we got. Shall we? Ooh. Resident Evil Requiem. Now apparently this is the 9th game, and well, I've heard back last year this was like supposed to be the last one for the main series. That might not be the fact anymore, but I don't know. I am really tempted to see this. Not really tempted, but really interested in seeing where this comes or where this goes to. Concept. This game was addictive fear. Something from overcoming your fears. Okay, yeah. It makes you want to do more to play more. That is actually something I noticed a lot with like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. How they went back to just survival horror. Because, I mean, if you look at 4, Resident Evil 4 was the real shift in the game series, where it was introducing much more action than it was horror or survival. 5 was 5, and 6, honestly, if you look at 6, Resident Evil 6, you can really enjoy it. It is a fun game, but it's not really, I don't know, the best way I can describe it is Resident Evil 6 is like the 1980s cheesy action film. If you think of it like that, you're going to have a really fun time. But it was nice to see when they went to Resident Evil 7 how they went back to more of survival horror and actually having to do inventory management. Yes, you got upgrades and stuff like that, but it was actually, you had to think a little bit more, and it was much more addictive, especially your first time playing through, to just get afraid. Like, there were scenes in that game when I first played it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is kind of creepy. Introducing a lighter? That'll be interesting. Oh! Oh, whoa. Let's go back to that. Okay, so introducing a lighter for a light source. That's gonna be fun. That, whatever this is not fun. He's a big one. It's an offline single player game. Awesome, I love that. Okay, so yeah. Kind of going back to what I was talking about, how the horror was one of the most important aspects of Resident Evil series. Yes. Village was also that, but it, because they made it so broad, like it was a village instead of just a house, to me it felt not as scary at some points until, I would say, until one of the lords you were fighting. I'm not gonna give away who, but when they condensed it down to that one house, you know which one I'm talking about if you played the game. That was really horrifying. Like, just when you reduce the environment, to me, and make it to where you can't escape, and it increases the horror aspect for me. Ooh. Wait a minute. I'll go back to that cop. Okay, that looks like that's going to be in this series because I don't recognize it. And it doesn't look like something from Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3. Gameplay. Okay, so now we're getting into the new characters, hopefully. Yes. Introverted and easily scared, which is a new type of character for the Resident Evil series. That might actually, could they play with like a sanity aspect to this one, where it might freeze and make you less accurate with weapons or something like that? But I did do some research. Like, this is the daughter of a character that was from Resident Evil Outbreak, and the first name is eluding me right now. Concepts in the same aspect as a player. Okay, so she does learn to overcome it. Interesting. Looks like she gets messed up pretty bad in this, and with it being a cutscene, that's not gonna be fun. But maybe they are gonna play with the aspect of like a sanity thing, where it might at first cause it to where you're struggling to play or struggling to get through the levels. Ooh, that is beautiful. Hang on, they mentioned that really quick. This was trained with guns. Is able to act with a calm, deductive reasoning. Ooh. Oh, it's about making Leon the protagonist. They're bringing back Leon. Maybe. Making a horror game based around him is difficult. Good point. He's already conditioned to not be afraid. And Resident Evil 2, when he was a rookie cop, yeah, that was when he was kind of more likely just to be jumping at the bucket falling. But now, by this time, he's gone through, what was it? If we include the film series that they did, Resident Evil 2, 4, 6, and then what was the animations? I watched them all. Degeneration, Damnation, Vendetta, and Dead Island. By this point, he just doesn't really care. He's like, he doesn't get horrified. He just gets depressed. Like, what next horror can they throw at me? No, they're not going to see I'm scared. That's not believable. At this point, if it involves either Leon or Chris, it's not going to be horror. It's going to be action. Even with Ethan from 8, he was more adjusted or able to overcome fear and just react and fight. Okay, yes. Well, yeah, her desk looked horrible. Yeah, here we go. To her face. At this point, I thought she was hanging upside down, like, because they changed the camera angle like that. I was right. Realistic physics of her hair. Called in a professional. Who'd you call in? They made a custom wig for the model? That's interesting. Switch between... Okay, that's going to be fun. Being able to freely switch between first and third person perspectives, that is going to be awesome. Kind of feels like the Bethesda games like Fallout or Skyrim. Ooh. Yes. Now show me those scenes again. I do like the over-the-shoulder with a lot of games, but I also am a fan of the first person. I'm probably going to switch between the two. Okay, we're coming back into Raccoon City. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And what's interesting is, if you take a look at like how they portrayed it in the past a lot, there was like, I want to say like there was supposed to be like 3 missile strikes on Raccoon City in Resident Evil 3. I could be wrong. Or in one of the old games, they actually kind of show like which missiles or what missiles are being launched or how many I should be saying. But yeah. I think the city was apparently just obliterated. Yeah. So I'm actually kind of curious. At this point, I'm curious, like, where is this going to take us? They're mentioning Raccoon City. Are they actually going back to Raccoon City? True. I mean, you're dealing with Ashcroft here, who is the daughter of a character from one of the side games of Outbreak. So it's going to be a lot of characters they could play with in a lot of different aspects, maybe. I could be just talking out my butt right now. Okay. That was a really beautiful graphic right here. I love this, but I love just 1 second. Like, this is just gorgeous. Like how they did this design. We choose Requiem to mark a milestone series. Are they actually going to end? Like how I've heard, like this was supposed to be like the end of the main story. Is this going to be like where they stop this series or this era of the game and go on after it? Or is this actually like, hey, this is the end of the main story completely? Scheduled to be released February 27, 2026. That's actually cool. They're doing this for that. That's awesome. Alright, so yeah, that's the end of this thing. But again, this is just the official game overview trailer. I can't wait for this to drop next year. I really am hoping that we get more information as it gets closer and closer to release. But who knows? Huge Resident Evil fan. We'll see where this comes up to. Not comes up to, but where it takes us to. I am literally just muttering or messing up my sentence structure today. Either way, thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care. And I will see you all next time. Bye. I forgot the last 30 seconds of it. My fault. My bad. Here we go. Big change in policy.
Further interviews with the creators that didn't fit into today's presentation will be released today on the Resident Evil portal.
Well, it's been a week since then, so that'd be something I check out.
Capcom ID to see the rest.
I don't have a Capcom ID. Okay, well, you guys get a chance. Take a look at that one. Find out little bits of information I don't know. Change of policy, Grace's mom. We'll see where that takes us. Either way, again, I left out the last 30 seconds, so I had to go back and watch it before I got told in my comments that, hey, you forgot this bit. I didn't this time. I'll see you all next time. Night.